10, 9.
Now, get ready for Buzzworthy Radio, the show that gets you up close and personal with some of today's hottest stars. Now, here's Novell J. Lee.
Hey, it's Novell J. Lee, and welcome into a new Buzzcast here on Buzzworthy Radio. One of our favorites stopped by the podcast yet again, Gabriel Mann, who plays the role of Nolan Ross on ABC's Revenge. He gave us a little bit of scoop on what's to come in the last 3 episodes of the season. I personally, myself, as a Revenge fanboy, cannot wait for these episodes, especially the next new one, which is set to premiere on April 28th, which is called Identity. We get into that as well as what we can possibly expect in the season finale. Here it is, our interview with Gabriel Mann. Check it out. Gabe, how are you?
Hello!
OMG, everybody.
OMG, all caps, dude.
All caps.
Yes.
All caps, yes. Oh my gosh, man. This guy really needs no introduction from me because how many times has he been here? I don't really need to introduce this man. Gabriel Mann, how are you?
Novell, I'm going to be real honest with you. This finale is kicking my ass. We are in part 2 of the 2-hour season finale right now, and man, it's just coming fast and furious. I am just trying to keep up at this point. I come home at the end of each day and just kind of have to stare at the wall for a few hours before I actually fall asleep. I don't know. I'm great. I think the fans of the show are going to be really pleased. I'm going to need about 3 months of recuperation by the time we're done with this thing because it's kind of major.
Be still my heart, y'all. Be still my heart about this finale right now. You're such a tease, man. You're such a tease. You can't give me any more.
Oh, and I'm going to keep on teasing. You can bet that I will keep on teasing to the very end. But the great news is when you actually have something really awesome to tease. And I know I have been one of the many fanboys of this show, but everything that I love about the show is going to be jam-packed in the next few episodes leading up till the end. And, I have to go to work every day and just thank our writers because, throughout the course of the last 2 seasons, there are all these different things that I'd kind of thrown out their way as potential storylines or, characters crossing paths and so forth. And at certain points, I was like, oh, it's just never going to happen. And then all of a sudden, in the space of 3 or 4 episodes, all of it's happened. So it's awesome. Yeah.
Within the past few episodes that we have seen, I've gone on plenty of a praise the last couple of weeks, especially for you. You've done some amazing work in the last couple of episodes, especially when Nolan found out about Padma. I just sat there and I said, oh my gosh, this dude just really kicked ass in these scenes. That was just great work coming from you in those episodes. When you had to play those scenes, like what was going through your mind when you were doing that?
And first of all, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And again, I think so much of, the thanks for that also has to go to our writers for kind of giving me an opportunity as an actor to kind of take the character to those places. Because I think, it's real easy to leave Nolan living in the land of the snark and the quip. But I think, at a certain point, they kind of threw some stuff out there to see how I would react to it and what I would kind of give back as an actor. And I guess they were pleased with what they saw because they just kept dishing it out.
Right.
But to answer your question more specifically, a combination of things goes into doing scenes like that. To be real frank, I Dilshad, who plays Padma on the show, has become a really great friend of mine. And as some of the plot lines were revealed where we were going, I would say some of the pain and anger that you saw was real genuine in terms of my feelings of, potentially losing her on the show. But again, as I've teased before and will continue to tease again, nothing is ever quite as it seems with the Hamptons in the world of revenge. So, whenever you think you may have lost somebody, there's always the potential for flashbacks and God knows what else. But, as strange as this sounds, I do not think in fact, I can guarantee we have not heard the last of Padma yet. So,
okay.
Her storyline is not quite finished, but in a really big way. But to continue with that, and I think the rest of what goes into playing scenes like that is just whatever your training is as an actor, and however much you choose to invest in the circumstances that are given to you. I mean, I kind of always approached it pretty seriously, and it's really funny that the show that really put me on the map was something that could potentially be so over the top and insane. But
yeah.
I think my take on it, and something that the rest of the cast I think also agrees with, is that the only way to play this and make it fun is to really make it as real as possible, even when everything goes gonzo. And as I was saying, that can take a toll after a while, especially when the writers start to bring some of the stuff that they're doing right now with wrapping up season 2. And I'm gonna need some bed rest by the time we're done here.
Does that mean?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look, the show's called Revenge. We know Emily's pretty much the one gunning for it. Jack seems to be gunning for some revenge himself. Can we suggest that Nolan Ross might be on the revenge kick a little bit on his own?
I would tease, in the broader picture of all things, that Nolan has always been going for a little bit of revenge, and I think whether it has been obvious or a little bit more subversive and behind the scenes is open to interpretation. But in terms of where it may be going, I think where we're going to leave these characters at the end of this year, the writers have a plethora of options in terms of where to go with that. I would say there's some payback to be had, and I think before we're done, Nolan's going to be dishing a little bit of it out himself. So, in fact, with the episode that we return on, which I called Identity at this point, on April 28th, it's a little bit of it's a little Nolan-y, or maybe a lot Nolan-y, and certainly very Falcon-y. I think Nolan's got a few choice words to share with the Falcon at this point, which will be dished out in a very unconventional way per our show.
Wait. We now know who the Falcon. We'll know who the Falcon is. What? Huh?
Oh, you know how the show goes. Yeah, we're going to pay that off real quick. We're just about to pay that off, in fact, and I'm going to guarantee that it's in the next episode.
Well, all right then. That totally took me by surprise right now. You should see me. My heart just kind of just stopped beating a little bit when you said that. Just slightly.
Oh, mine did too when I read the script for how it plays out. But I think it is an unexpected turn that people, because we always theorize on set. We sit around in between takes and maybe this person's a Falcon, or maybe this person's a Falcon, or maybe this person's Victoria's Secret son, and could it be this, and could it be that? And so, I mean, we wait just as desperately for each new script as I think some of our devoted fans have waited to see how things play out. And I'm really pleased at how it all kind of comes together at this point. But I think even given that we are about to pay off that storyline in the next episode, that we go so many places from where that one ends to the 2-hour season finale that, all the dots get connected in a really revenge-y kind of way.
All right. Are you able to say, too, I've been hearing a little bit that it's going to be very Nolan-esque coming up in that season finale. I heard that. Is that true? Can you say?
That's I would say it's very true, but I have to even take it one step forward past that and just say it is very, very every character centric. finale because, as major as each of the bombshells that get dropped are, I don't think there's anyone left standing at the end of this season that hasn't gotten hit by some kind of bullet. Maybe literally, maybe figuratively, maybe I'm just teasing you again. But, and that's the beauty of the show. I mean, they could have just left it with sort of, one of the reveals that they're about to reveal, but they never stop there. So I would say by the time everything is said and done, there are some things that happen that we have now addressed for 2 years that we finally get to. And there are characters that you will never expect that, I would say, alliances and relationships that get broken and then sort of cobbled back together Frankenstein style. It's every character-centric finale. I mean, as I said, I think what happens with Nolan is major, but it's nobody's getting away unscathed, Novell. At the end of the day, on this one, nobody.
That's exciting. I'm telling you right now, for anybody who's a huge revenge fanboy like I am, you're gonna pretty much dig the last few episodes that are left in this season. I'm telling you right now, if you can see me, I'm sweating. So if I'm sweating, you're pretty much are gonna sweat too. And this is not biased. I'm just letting you know the real deal here. And my amazement with this show, especially with these writers, is how they're able to come up with all of these stops and these bombshells. I mean, yeah, we're in our second season, but they're just still coming out with all the hits. And I'm just sitting here going, like, how can they do this from week to week and from each season to each season? And still, it just seems so fresh. It doesn't seem, it's not boring. It hasn't even hit the jump the shark phase. I don't think it will. But I'm just saying that, how they're able to come up with this. And, you're just sitting there and you're reading these scripts and you're going like, holy hell.
Our writers are incredibly sick in the head in the best way possible. And I mean, I don't know how many hours they spent locked up in that writer's room to come up with what is about to happen on the show. But I would say that there is actually one bombshell that they're going to drop that I don't think any of us saw coming, that will wrap up every complication in season 2 that people were ever left scratching their heads saying, what the hell is this thing and what is going on? When the reveal happens for this thing, I just, I continue to sort of grin ear to ear with the plot twist that they managed to pull with this one. And I don't know if it was always what was intended or if it's some, evil genius kind of stroke of brilliance that they had at 3 a.m. or something. But whatever it is, it re-ups everybody's game in such a major way, and it turns one of our principal characters kind of into the devil. So, in a potential season 3, obviously still waiting to find out if this is a story we get to keep telling. But, we got our hands full after the end of this one. And there is also a bombshell that gets dropped that, as I said, people have been waiting a long time for. So it's a good one.
I'm excited. Revenge is back with new episodes April 28th with Identity. Sir, I don't have to keep saying it, but I'm going to say it anyway. I love having you here. You got to come back again, man. Always,
Novell. As long as the show is on the air, and then hopefully whatever follows after that, you have been a supporter from the very beginning, and I know for a fact just through social media and the Twitterverse, you've got a lot of Revenge fans out there, and specifically on our cast and crew. So I would say you are kind of one of the unofficial members of our family at this point. So it is always a huge pleasure to talk to you and share the excitement and the madness.
The madness, indeed. Thank you very much for that. And, dude, always a pleasure, man. I can't wait. Gabriel Mann, everybody, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Novell. Great to talk to you, man.
Always a pleasure to have this guy come by and talk about the show with us here on the podcast. Gabriel Mann, everybody. He plays Nolan Ross on ABC's Revenge. You can watch it every Sunday night at 9/8 Central. And follow him on Twitter at Gabriel_man. But that's it for me for right now. I'm Novel J. Lee, making sure you keep getting the latest buzz with Buzzworthy Radio by simply logging on to our website at www.buzzworthyradio.net. You can even follow us on Twitter at Buzzworthy Radio, as well as liking us on our Facebook page. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Hey, I'm Gabriel Mann, and you have the pleasure right now of listening to Buzzworthy Radio.
Can't get enough of Buzzworthy Radio. Log on now to www.buzzworthyradio.net to get the latest news on upcoming guests, past shows, and videos of all your favorite stars. Keep getting the latest buzz with Buzzworthy.